everybody, it's Kathy and you're back in my craft room at Random Acts of Crafting. I'm sorry I've been missing in action for the last couple of days, but after I did my series of Valentine cards, I needed to break. So I took a break. My husband and I, we had some shopping and stuff to take care of. So we were out and about and just taking care of some things that we needed to. But I am back and I am going to bring you a technique. And we're probably going to add this to a card, but I wanted to show you. This stamp set is a cheap stamp set. It's one that I think I picked up at some point at Tuesday mornings. The stamps are not the photopolymer, they're more of the acrylic. They're very, you can tell when you get a good quality stamp, it's not real rubbery. It has a certain texture to it. But this stamp works for what I wanted to show you. And you can very easily do this technique with your good stamps. But I found this and it seemed to work for me. So I'm putting this down and I'm going to put it over to the side of the card just a little bit. And I'm going to show you some techniques that you can use. And I'm using my Misty for this because I will need to stamp twice. So if you have a Misty, that would definitely be your best bet to use. And this is the mini Misty. So I put my cardstock all the way over into the corner. And I chose a very light green ink. And I'll show you why. I'm not going to stamp the trunk of the tree. I'm only going to stamp the top part of the tree. And this tree is actually a lemon tree. So I'm going to show you, once we get it stamped, you will see the lemons. And I'm not stamping the trunk, I'm just stamping the top part of it. So I'm going to pull this over and stamp it down. And then I'm going to see if I need to do it again. Yeah, let's do that just a little bit more around the sides, because I want a really good impression of this bright ink. So let's go ahead and close this ink up. And I'm using the VersaClaire, and this is in the Verdant, which is almost like a chartreuse. It's a very, as you can see, a very bright, very vibrant green, spring green, as I would like to call it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you how, most of us have Tombow markers, or some type of water-based marker. And I'm going to show you how you can go in, add a second color to your image by just using your marker. This does not hurt your stamp, and you can just go in and just ever so often just rub this around on your leaves. And you will be surprised at how beautiful this technique comes out. So we're just going to put, dabs of color all over it, just hither and skither. No rhyme or reason, just put down some color. And once you get it, pretty much like you want it, then we're just going to bring this over and stamp right on top of it. Just like that. And look at the difference that makes. Let me zoom y'all in so you can see this. You see how that second color just brings everything to life. And it looks like I need a little bit more, maybe right in here. I'm looking at it and I'm trying to figure out where I might want a little bit more of that green. I'm thinking right in there. And I love the way that turned out. So I'm going to also show you another technique. Let me wipe this stamp off because I'm done with the green. And I'm going to grab a brown, and I think I want maybe this shade of brown for my tree trunk. So I'm going to come in now just on my stamp, and I am going to put that color down on my trunk, and I'm going to let it go up into those leaves. And all I'm doing is coloring my stamp. And this is water-based, so like I said, it's not going to hurt your stamps. And it gives you some other options of using your stamps in a different purpose. Now I am going to press that down quite a bit. And look at that. We have a beautiful tree trunk. Now if you wanted it to be a little more darker up here, just come in and, let me bring that over so you can see what I'm doing. I didn't realize I was zoomed in quite that much. But I'm just putting that color down really heavy right there. And then we're going to bring it back over and we're going to stamp it. And there you go. See how pretty that is? Now I want to do the pot, but I want the pot to look like terracotta. So I chose a brown that had a little bit more red, and this is number 837 in the Tombow marker. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to color this little pot. I'm going to go across this way. Now this pot has looks like it might have gotten cracked right there on the edge. Maybe the tree is growing out of this pot, because this is a lemon tree, so somebody might have a lemon tree on their patio. I would love to have a lemon tree. How nice would it be to go out and pick fresh lemons to use in your recipes? So we're going to bring this over. And I'm going to just press that down. And you might have to do these a couple of times. You know, you might not get it on the first time. And I do have y'all zoomed in. I mean, you can tell by my hands, they're very big. But I just wanted you to be in where you could see the beauty of this technique. And look at that. Is that not gorgeous? So I am going to go back over this again. And pull y'all over so you can see what I'm doing. Just like that. Pull it back over, and I'm going to stamp that down again. I'm going to use the heel of my hand to really press that in. And I might go in with a little bit different color. Let's try this one. That's a little bit more brown than it is red. I love that. So I am going to go back in, and I'm just going to streak a little bit of this brown in there, just to give it a little bit more definition. Oh, look at that. I love it. So I'm going to go back over this area. This looks like where it's kind of cracked. And it's made that way to look that way. I'm going to go down. I'm going to outline the pot itself with this darker ink and see what we get. Hey, I'm just playing right along with y'all to see how this is going to turn out. But I always, say that if you can get more than one purpose out of your stamps, if you can change up your colors and make it a little more vibrant, I love that. Now I'm going to grab a bright yellow, and I'm going to go in. Well, actually, you know what? I'm going to try to blend. I'm going to do a little bit of orange on our lemons, just ever so often here. A little bit of orange. Just a little bit. And now I'm going to come back in with this bright yellow, and we're just going to color our lemons. Now I haven't tried this with my alcohol markers. I don't know how it would work on those. I might try it on a stamp that I really don't care about and see how the technique works with the alcohol. But I know with the Tombow, you can clean your stamps off and it does not hurt your stamps one bit. The alcohol markers would kind of scare me because I wouldn't want to damage my stamps. Look at those lemons. Don't they look luscious? I love the way that turned out. I think it's so pretty. And if you wanted to come back in with the reddish and, maybe do a little bit more right here to make it look like it was coming around the pot, around the tree, you could do that. Never be afraid to try something new. You never know if you don't try. And I think this is absolutely gorgeous like this. Look at that. And it was all done with just using a simple stamp. And I'm going to show you that the stamp will clean up really good. Let me zoom you back out. Oops, wrong way. I am going to take a little bit of squeaky clean, and I'm going to spray that right onto my my little chamois, and I am going to clean the stamp up. Now you know that some stamps, especially your cheaper stamps, will stain. I mean, that's a given. But these clean up, and they're very good to use again. So I am going to wipe that down like this. And look, our stamp is as good as new. It is stained a little bit, but it was stained from this ink. The ink stained it more than the markers did. And there's nothing wrong with a stained stamp. You know what we always say. A stained stamp is a love stamp. Y'all should see my Hartley. My first Hartley, oh my goodness. He is all stained up. And you know, a stamp like this would be another one that would work great because you've got these leaves. If you got a big flower that has a lot of detail to it, that would be another great stamp that would work with the same technique. So I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and take this out of our MISTI. Oh, and a little hack. I saw this on another YouTube channel, and somebody had put, you know how we struggle sometimes to get this open? Oops, I set that down on one of my magnets. We struggle sometimes to get our little side piece open. Well, I saw somebody that had taken and put a piece of this sticky tape, this roll right here, and I forget what this is called, but I use this with my die cuts. Well, I don't so much now that I have the magnetic platform because they hold really good, but if you're needing something to hold in place, this is the purple tape is wonderful. I think that's what they call it, the purple tape. But that is absolutely fantastic. And I made me a door handle for my MISTI. I did it on my larger one as well as my mini, and I put my bar on the same thing because now I can just grab that up without trying to do that to get it up. And the same thing with my small one. Some people don't like to put washi tape or any type of tape on their magnet, but for me it just makes it much faster for me to grab that up. And I'm going to go ahead and I want to put a sentiment on here. I'm trying to think, what do I want to put? Let's see. I would love to do a word sentiment, and I do have some words. How pretty would that be? Believe. Let's see if we have a pretty piece of green that we could cut that word out with. And I think that would be wonderful. And I am actually going to bring up my little Gemini. I caught this on sale at Hobby Lobby. And this machine was originally $129, and you're not going to believe I got this bad boy. You know me, I love a sale. I got this for $39.99, 40 bucks. And it's nice because the Gemini is an electric machine. So, with it being electric, you don't have to crank it. And it's great for the small dies like this. So let me find a piece of yellow or orange, and I'll be right back. Okay, I found this cute little piece of yellow polka dot, and I think that's going to be adorable on here. In fact, I think what I'm going to do is mat this to this. So I'm going to cut off just enough of this. Let's see if we can do that. I'm going to cut just enough of this off. So let me move that out of my way and get my trimmer. And I think we're just going to need a scant. I'll put it down upside down. I wasn't even thinking. So I am so sorry. A little over 1.5, so maybe 1 3/4, maybe about there. And then I'm going to save this for my card. I think We'll trim this down. We've got room to trim that down, so that won't be a problem. Sorry for the cough. I'm really not sick. I know it sounds like I am, but I'm not. Alright, so we have our main plate. We have our little plastic shim, our little magnetic plate, which we're going to put our die on. We're going to put our paper down like this, and put this down like that. And then we're going to put the shim, the metal shim, and then this, and I'm going to turn this on, and we are going to run it through. It does make a little noise, but hey, I'm not cranking or anything, so I love it. Now this is the mini, it's like called the Gemini Go, so it is small. And when you take it out, it cuts off automatically. How nice is that? And it's got a power switch in the back. I just love that little machine. It's so handy. And look at this. Oh, I cut it out backwards, y'all. I should have put my paper down the other way. Oh, goodness. All right. We're going to regroup and do that again. I think it might have cut through that. Maybe we didn't need the shim after all. Let's try it this time without the shim. So I'm going to just tap it to get the pieces out. And I think we got almost all of them out. A couple here and there. That little dot on the eye just don't want to go. Okay, I got it. Might have punched myself with the little pick in my finger, and you know what? I'm going to keep this because I can use this even though it cut on the wrong side. I can use this on a piece of black paper if I wanted to do believe. So let's do it again, and I'm going to go ahead and use the rest of this. Hopefully it will cut the right way this time. Okay. Now let's see if we got our piece cut the way we need it. Pulling it off, just like that. And where did it go? Okay, it's on the die where it should be. So now I'm going to use my little pokey tool, and we're going to poke this out. And we have our believe just like we need it. Now the little dot over the eye, I do want that. I'm going to lay him right there with the believe, and we're going to move this out of our way. Our die out of our way. And let's bring our little piece back over. And we're going to put believe right here with our little eye over it. Our little dot. Oh, that's so cute. Is that not cute? Alright, I am going to put some glue on the back of this. And I think I'm just going to use the art glitter glue right now because I really want to just get this down so that we can move on. Let's see, are we zoomed out enough? Okay, yes we are. I thought this was just a pretty little technique, and I really didn't come to you to show you how to do this as much I see one of my lemons I didn't color. Make sure I got them all. I just love the way that turned out. I think it's so pretty. Is my glue clogged up? I don't think so. There we go. I'm just going to dot, dot, dot my art glitter glue around on this little piece. So I am going to take this up, just like that, and it's got glue all over it, but that's okay. I'm going to lay it down where I want it, which is going to be right about here. Beautiful. Now let's get this little piece, and I'm going to take just a dot of glue and put right there, and then I'm just going to pick that up with my finger and sit it into the glue, and I'm going to use my little pokey tool just to press it down into the glue. Along with the rest of the lettering, I'm just pressing. You can also use the roller and roll around on these letters just to make sure. I love the color. I must be ready for spring because I mean it's February and it has been so warm here, almost like spring. They even said the pollen was showing its ugly head. Now I need to do something around the edges of this, so I think I'm going to use squeezed lemonade, or do I want something a little bit, how about the twisted, yeah, I think I want the squeezed lemonade. And this is my Distress Oxide, and I'm going to grab a blending tool. I already have yellow on this one, so I am going to pick that up with my little tool, and I'm going to just go around the outside edges of this, just like this, just to give it a little bit of a border. It doesn't make it look so flat when you do this. And I also think I need to do a little bit of shading and give that pot a landing, a place for it to look like it's living. So we're going to do that. We're going to grab a little bit. See what a difference it makes just to do a little bit of ink blending. So pretty. I love that squeezed lemonade. Okay, so I'm going to take a gray, sort of grayish blue, maybe this one. Let me do a little test on here and see if this is the color that I want. I'm going to try it on this little piece. Yeah, I think that'll work. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come in I just want that to look like it has a place to sit. Just like that. Let's go ahead and take it off all the way over. That just really, I think, adds to it. And it looks like I need just a tiny bit more of that yellow right on this corner. And now I think this is ready to go onto a card base. So I am actually thinking that maybe, I don't know if I'd want it on the purple. The purple is gorgeous with that. So this is actually something else that I was working on. So let me grab a piece of purple. And I want this to mat on here about like that. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm not measuring. I mean, I am going to measure to cut, but I'm not measuring the width. I know I want it to be about here. So I am just going to take this piece and put it in my trimmer, and I'm going to cut it right there. It's not going to be an A2 size card, but hey, it's okay. Everything doesn't have to be perfectly aligned. Sometimes we can just, you know, work outside the box. So I know this needs to be folded at 5.5. So we're going to put the school board up, and I am going to bring this over, and I'm going to score this at 5.5. Just like that. We might have to trim this off. We are. It's okay. We're going to trim it off up here, and then you know what we'll do? We'll just re-ink the top. So we need to come off about 1/8 of an inch, right about there. And we'll do a trowel run again. Maybe another 1/8. Maybe I should have went 1/4. But you know what? I always say, take off a little bit and check it, because you can always take off a little bit more, but you can't add it. Once you cut it down, oh yeah. So now all I need to do is grab this little inker and very gently go back across that top, bring that back onto our card base. And you know, this almost has the look of watercolor. I think it looks gorgeous like this. So we're going to just go ahead and put this onto our card base. Y'all know what I did. I left my pen out of my glue again. But basically I want you to try to think outside the box with your stamps, and that was the purpose of me bringing this video. Y'all know I love to teach technique, and I thought this was such a neat way of using your stamps along with your markers to give you a whole different look. I am not pleased with this, so I'm going to go back and just do a little bit more of this. There, I think I like that much better now. And I think this would make a beautiful card to send to anyone. I love, love, love the lemon trees. I'm going to bring that up close so y'all can see. The believe really does fit in with that. And the little breaking point right here on that pot just gives it so much. And if you wanted your tree trunk to have a little bit more definition, you could very easily use a darker brown or even a black. Let's see if I got a darker brown. This is darker. You could come in and actually outline the tree trunk if you wanted to. You could put some little lines in it to make it look like bark. Just so many things that you could do with this. You could actually color in around here to give it a little bit more depth. I mean, it's, you know, the possibilities with something like this are totally endless. I'm hoping that y'all enjoyed the technique of using the two different colors to give that tree leaves without coloring. You didn't have to color. All you had to do was just dab some color off of your marker onto your stamp and restamp it. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I hope that you will try this technique. Pull out your flowers and your limbs and different things and give it a try. You don't know if you don't experiment. This is your creativity coming to full front. So try these techniques and see what you come up with. You'll be surprised. God bless each and every one of you. I am so thankful to have y'all in my life. I thank God every day for each and every one of you, and I pray for you. Thank you for being a part of my life. You mean so much to me. And be a blessing to someone today. A simple hello, a thank you note, just someone that might need to hear from you. Pick up the phone and call them and say, hey, I was thinking of you, and I hope you're okay. Until we craft again, God bless you, and as I always say in closing, let everything that you do and say represent your love for Christ. He loved us enough to lay down his life, and I hope that you will believe with me that Jesus was the greatest gift ever given to mankind, and we need to honor and love him for the sacrifice that he made for us. God bless you, and until we craft again, I love you all. Bye-bye.